All right, let's get this show on the road. Let's get this going. How's everybody doing out there? Hope you guys are doing okay. Hope you guys had a good week. We're going to get into some topics today. We're going to get into this white couple. I don't know if you guys knew about, from West Virginia. They moved from Washington to West Virginia. They adopted 5 black children and had them living in shacks. Enslaved them, basically. They enslaved them. They were found guilty a few months ago, and they got their sentence. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into Dr. Umar Johnson leading the movement against the deadbeat moms, and we're going to get into some Democratic news. You know what I'm saying? We're dealing with the CR vote and the backlash that Chuck Schumer is going through right now, okay? So, y'all, stay tuned. Here we go.
Because I'm going to tell you why. I read the white book. Getting away wasn't a chapter, okay? We tricked their ass. We got away. And they ain't going to never be the same. They ain't been happy since. Go back and watch all that old shit. When they owned us, white folks are some happy white people. Let slavery come back tomorrow. Well, they don't want us in their little areas and all that shit. Ain't that funny? Don't want us in their neighborhood. When they own us, we was in their house. Kind of is that? Oh, I can't come in the neighborhood, but when you own me, I was warming up your bed. Now there's something wrong with this picture. When they own us, we had 12 and 14 jobs. Now that we free, I'm so sorry, there's no jobs. Mad because we got away. Let slavery come back in the mall. They'll be on that porch. Welcome home. Get your rest. You got to go to those 12 jobs in the morning. Your room is just like it was. We haven't changed it. But what about the neighborhood? No, your neighborhood's our neighborhood. It is the truth.
Whitefeather was sentenced to a maximum of 215 years for human trafficking, forced child labor, civil rights violations, and child abuse and neglect. Her husband, Lantz, was sentenced to 160 years max for similar charges.
No child support if he don't see his child. Oh, we changing the rules. No more money for deadbeat moms. That's right. We keep talking about deadbeat daddies. When we going to talk about deadbeat moms who keep the kids from the daddy? Oh, yes.
We want a Mitch McConnell. We want somebody who's going to stand up to this bully. Listen, when the bully is kicking you in the sand, in the face, what's supposed to happen is you go and you get the muscles and you come back and you punch the bully. You're not supposed to say, more sand, please.
Yo, am I right or wrong? What's up, everybody? What's up? All those just tuning in. What's going on, y'all? Am I wrong, or is Van Jones the perfect example of the movie where I'm gonna get you, sucker? When Keenan Ivory goes to this guy's spot that used to be part of the movement, and he trying to tell him like, yeah, man, where's all your people at? He's like, oh man, they all got jobs at the post office. Like Van Jones, like I seen clips of Van Jones where he was like on the streets, like, fighting for like, radical issues, as it pertains to black. It's crazy to see how he turned out. But before we get started, since you guys enjoyed the game so much last week, I figured we start out with that. You know what I'm saying? Guess the movie based off emojis. Okay? Y'all ready out there? You ready? Let me know in the chat if you're ready. Let me know, because we sipping today. Got some of that Jose and Red Bull. A little bit of that, you know what I'm saying? Got a little, some of that. Let me know in the chat. Y'all ready? Okay. All right, here we go. Here's the first one. Guess this movie. These a little bit harder than the last one. These a little bit harder than the last ones. Guess this movie. Now, if you can't guess it, let me know in the chat when you give up now, so we ain't just, just sitting here. All right? Guess this movie. I should have had some music playing. Do, 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 do. Can you guess it? Delivery. Nope. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. See, this one's harder. Remember, all movie, Spike Lee was delivering pizza. Had the cops that killed Radio Raheem. It was hot. And it was, yeah, do the right thing. I figured y'all wouldn't get that no time soon. So we just go ahead and do that one. All right, here's the next one. Now, y'all should have this one. Y'all should get this one. Y'all should get this one. Easy. Easy money. Come on. I give you a hint. It's a comedy, a black comedy. Black comedy. Do 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 do. Yes, no, maybe so. Who knows? There we go. There we go. Good one. Good. There you go. Life. That's right. You gonna eat your cornbread. That's right. That's a good one. Good one. Good one. All right, here we go. Next one. Come on now. Yeah. Yeah. Guess this one. Come on. Guess this one. See if I can give y'all a hint. It's a classic. Love is the first word of the title. Love is the first word of the movie title. It's 2 words. 2. 2 words. First word, love. What's the second one? Well, ain't no doggone Purple Rain, Color Purple. No. I couldn't find no emojis for Color Purple that would be suitable. Yes, no, maybe so. What you know? 5, 4, 3, 2. Love. Nah, it ain't Love Child. You were close though. Love Jones. Goodbye morning. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? All right, here's the next one. Here's the next one. See if you can guess it. Here's the next one. This is easy. Easy. Easy work. Come on. I shouldn't even have to give y'all this one. Come on. This one's not hard. This one is not hard. This is easy. There you go. There you go. There you go. You must be sold with this episode. You're doing good. You're doing good. It is Ray. You're doing good. All right, here's the next one. Now this one's hard. I ain't gonna lie to you. I give you a hint. I give you a hint. If you know me, you know who my favorite actress is of all time. You know who the most beautiful woman in the world to me is. She was in this movie. Okay? The needle is a representation of addiction. Okay? Come on. I'll give you good hints now. Halle Berry was in this movie. Sad movie, but nonetheless, it's a movie. Pulp Fiction. Where the hell you get Pulp Fiction from? Halle Berry was not in Pulp Fiction. Halle Berry was not in Pulp Fiction. Come on, let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2. Close. Halle Berry was in that one, and she wasn't at it. No, she didn't get an Oscar for it. This is it. Losing Isaiah. Y'all remember that movie? She was a drug addict. Her kid was up for adoption, and she tried to get the baby back from the white woman. Losing Isaiah. Yeah, pissed me off. Okay, here's the next one. Kiera, you should get this one. Kiera Tanae Henshaw, you should get this one. Or Kiera Tanae Carter, I'm sorry. Kiera Tanae Carter, you should get this one. Name this movie. Easy work. Do 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 do. Uh-oh. Dang, Kiera, you let mama take it from you. That's right. That's right. Drumline. Good job. All right, last one. Easy one. Last one. Easy one. Come on now. It's a classic. One of my favorite movies of all time. The first one. There's a hint. There's more than one of them. Nah. Nah. Close. I ain't gonna say close, but nah. Come on. Mercy, mercy, mercy. Follow me. Come on. Nope. Mercy, mercy, mercy. I can't say the other one because it'd be obvious. Close. It's a movie. Close. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2. I can't believe y'all can't get this one. There you go. Good job. I wish I had the applause. Let me see if I got applause on here. Let me see if I got it. Okay, here we go. Yeah, good job. Good job. All right, so let's get to today's topic. Let's start with this white couple, okay, that was in West Virginia by way of Washington, who adopted 5 children to enslave them and had them as slaves, right? Thankful to all of the neighbors who were reporting it, but they have been reporting it for a minute, which is sad. I think CPS should be under investigation. I think a couple of them should go to prison. But they were sentenced. They were found guilty. Husband and a wife. They were found guilty of, enslaving these poor 5 children. We're going to get into it and get into the time that they got, which was a total of 375 years. 375 years to split between the two. Let's go.
Both of you refused to accept responsibility throughout the trial and still here today, which makes my job a lot easier. And instead of apologizing today, because you never have said you're sorry, but what you did do was put on one of the most reprehensible, narcissistic defenses that I have ever seen in my years of trial work. And while they don't bear physical scars, it is exactly right what said and the state said, that they will bear the psychological scars of what was done to them by you, Jeanne Whitefeather, and you, Donald Lantz, for the rest of their lives. But the good in this is the people that took action here in the state of West Virginia. The good in this is that now these children are West Virginia's children and not your children. You brought these children to West Virginia a place that I know is almost heaven, and you put them in hell. This court will now put you in yours. And may God have mercy on your souls, because this court will not. Please stand.
Blistering words from Judge Maryclaire Akers as Jeanne Whitefeather and
That was gangster. May God have mercy on your souls, because I ain't.
Lantz were sentenced to decades in prison today, answering to their historic convictions last month of human trafficking and forced labor.
Whitefeather was sentenced to a maximum of 215 years for human trafficking, forced child labor, civil rights violations, and child abuse and neglect. Her husband, Lantz, was sentenced to 160 years max for similar charges. He was found not guilty on the civil rights violations and had fewer child abuse charges than Whitefeather.
After presiding over 3 weeks of their trial, Judge Maryclaire Akers did not hold back when she had her chance to address Jeanne Whitefeather and Donald Lantz before handing down the maximum sentence possible on all of their 31 counts. But before she did that, the kids in this case, the 4 victims and even the 5th child who was considered the favorite, all gave impact statements, both spoken and by letter. The children, who we did not film, all detailed the years of abuse and labor and what impact it has had on them today, both psychologically and emotionally.
They had to use the bathroom in buckets. I think the most that they had to sleep with was, sleeping bags, but they had to sleep straight on the floor. Some of them didn't even have that. They had to sleep on cardboard. Like, this was crazy, right? This is crazy. And for them to love to have, little black children as slaves, it was like, weird to me, and why they didn't, want black lawyers, why they didn't want black representations. You like putting black people to work so much.
Oldest teen girl even asked the judge if Whitefeather and Lantz could be forced to stand with their hands on their heads throughout the hearing, similar to how Whitefeather and Lantz would have the kids stand all day when they lived in Sissonville. The judge denied that request, noting the irony that it would be considered cruel and unusual for her to ask the defendants to do that in court, even though it was done to the kids in their home. Judge Akers instead opted to keep the pictures of them up as they spoke.
I'm his mommy. I mean, they can disown me, but I will never disown them. As far as I'm concerned, they're my children.
This lady is nuts.
You love all your children?
I love all my children.
Defense attorney Mark Lantz, who represents Whitefeather, said throughout the trial and even now she still denies any criminal responsibility.
My client's side of the story hasn't changed. It really has been that they did the best they could under the circumstances and they didn't intentionally harm anybody. So I'm not surprised that they spoke their hearts, even though a lot of people disagree with it. That's their story, and that's what they've told.
The children also thanked everyone who got them out of their situation, the neighbors, the deputies, the prosecutors, and now the judge. Judge Akers, in her remarks, also commending the Sissonville neighbors who repeatedly reported Whitefeather and Lantz in Sissonville for months before their arrests.
You heard that? For months. For months. People had to report on these folks for months before they finally did something. Don't give them too much of a pat on the back. I ain't talking about the people who reported it. I'm talking about the justice system. Don't give them no pat on the back like that, man. For months, these people had to keep reporting it. I remember, because I did a video on it last year sometime, and it was crazy to me how long and how many times this one woman had to report on these people and how Child Protective Services did not do nothing.
Called that the one good thing in this case.
Now, both Whitefeather and Lantz brought forward motions for new trials today. Those were denied. Whitefeather's attorney Mark Lantz did indicate today that they will be appealing their convictions.
Yeah, if they get out, I will personally put a bullet in their head my damn self. Man, it's crazy. It's crazy. Who would ever think that it would be like traditional slavery, chattel slavery, in this day of time? I'm not talking about through prison. We know that. We know it still exists, right? But I'm just saying, as far as like getting other people's kids, taking them and enslaving them, like the mental just torture them kids went through, man. I really hope that they're able to readjust, someday. And like I said, I don't know, do they ever get adopted again? Like, is their fears ever getting adopted again? Like, are they going to have to remain in the system until they turn 18? Like, this is crazy. It's crazy. 375 years. The wife got 200 and I know the husband got 160, so she got 215. The wife got 215. Shit. That's what man, it's crazy. It's just crazy. All right, so let's get to this next one right here, right? Dr. Umar. I'm quite sure you guys you should be familiar with Dr. Umar, man. Mr. Pan-Africanist has built a school for children independently, black kids independently, and he's starting a new movement. He's starting a new movement against and to battle the children court system, the family court system, correct myself, family court system, and deadbeat moms. Deadbeat moms. Let's go.
Black men, this whole Mama Smurf, Baby Smurf, Lies and Revenge tour has inspired me to start a black man family court movement.
Now, why we are here is because Dr. Umar has been put on blast for allegedly not being in two of his daughter's lives. One daughter came out, then another daughter came out, and he was saying how it was a money grab and all this other stuff. So he has taken, to his social media, and this is where we are right now. Just want to add some context to why he's saying what he's saying, because he has been, basically put on blast. Now, I don't know if it's true or not, but nonetheless.
Who with me? Who is getting sick and tired of being alienated from your children? What black men are sick and tired of paying child support and can't see your child? Where you at, black men? Where you at? I'm talking to black men all around the diaspora. Give me some black fists. If you tired of family court, you tired of custody court, you tired of child support court, I'm going to start a movement. Oh, y'all done woke up a sleeping giant now. Y'all done woke up. I'm starting a black man anti-family court movement. We are sick and tired of being taken advantage of. We are sick and tired of family court taking our money and not guaranteeing us a right to see our children. Do y'all know how many custody agreements I had with Mama Smurf? Me and Mama Smurf had about 4 or 5 custody agreements, and she violated every one, and family court did nothing. Yes, I filed contempt of court. I told you I got all my paperwork. Yes, I filed contempt of court. And what did the court system do to Mama Smurf? Nothing at all. So we not going for it. Black men, get ready. Black men all over the world. This is a Pan-African movement. I'm starting a black man anti-family court movement. We step into all elected officials. If you are a mayor, if you are a city council person, if you are a state rep, if you are a state senator, and if you don't stand with black men against the family court exploitation and domination, we will vote you out of office. That's right. We're going to start with Congressional Black Caucus. We're going to start with congressional. We're going to D.C. Black men, are you ready to march on D.C.? We want a meeting with the Congressional Black Caucus. They not doing nothing anyway. We're going to go to Congressional Black Caucus, and we're going to tell them that they're going to create a bill for black men. First of all, no child support if he don't see his child. Oh, we changing the rules. No more money for deadbeat moms.
I agree with that. If that man can't see that child, he shouldn't be paying child support. If he can prove that the mother, which they can, because if he's on child support, they're already dealing with the courts. His man can't see the child. He should not have to pay child support. That's
right. We keep talking about deadbeat daddies. When are we going to talk about deadbeat moms who keep the kids from the daddy? Oh, yes. Get your boots on, black men. We marching. We are marching against the Department of Health and Human Services. We marching on Congressional Black Caucus. Enough is enough. Y'all can thank Mama Smurf and Baby Smurf for Mama Smurf and Baby Smurf. I want to say thank you. Thank you for waking up a giant. Thank you for giving me the idea that it's time to organize black men against this disgusting family court system, this unjust family court system. We marching in Philly. We marching in Jersey. We marching in Georgia. We marching in D.C. We marching against family court in Baltimore. We marching in Fort Lauderdale. We marching in Miami. We marching in Savannah, Georgia, Augusta, Georgia. We marching in Brooklyn. We marching in the Bronx. We marching in Staten Island. We marching in Manhattan. We marching in Chicago.
What you mean is there could be real reasons for that? Yeah, I mean, if the father is abusive and all these things, look. When I'm saying these things, okay, you have to know who you're talking to, okay? You're talking to, a decent human being, okay? When I'm speaking to child support or fathers not being able to see the kids, I'm talking to fathers. I'm not talking to abusive dads, abusive men. I'm not talking about the pieces of shits that's out there. I don't speak for them. And I think that should automatically be, equated to what I am saying and what I'm speaking on, okay? There are a lot of great fathers out there that are going through hell as we speak right now, trying to see their children, and at the same time, they are being drained by the court system. There are plenty of mothers out there right now that are neglecting their children, but because it's so hard to put a case forward to take the kids away from the mothers, to be with the fathers, they remain with the mothers. There are plenty of cases like that. Plenty of them. Okay? So that's who I'm speaking for. I'm never speaking for the pieces of shits. I don't want to hear that whataboutisms when it comes to black fathers. Because the whole thing about black fathers not being around and being a part of their kids' life is a myth. Statistics show that we are the most present of any community in the United States of America. Black men are the most present fathers with their children than any other community in America. Look it up. The stats show it. And it's not even close. Okay? So that's what I'm speaking to when I talk about that. No man, no father should be having to pay child support for children that he can't see. Can't. That don't make sense.
Detroit, St. Louis,
so
Nashville.
That's it. When I'm speaking for, I don't want the whataboutisms when it comes to that. I'm speaking for fathers, real fathers, who are going to court, who are fighting to see their children, who are trying to see their children, but are dealing with women who are purposely keeping the kids away from him because they didn't work out, because he didn't want to deal with her no more. You know what I'm saying? Or because they're being scornful because the father finally moved on with his life, or because she was just a piece of shit since birth, and that's just who she is, to be a deviant woman. You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's all.
Knoxville, we are marching against the injustice of family court. We don't have a problem paying child support. I never had a problem paying child support.
I agree.
When I went to my first child support hearing for my oldest daughter, my oldest child, baby Smurf, was only 3 months old or younger when her mother took me to child support. And the child support agent told her mother that he did not want to do the order. God is my witness. God, Olodumare, Yame, Chukwu, Amen Ra is my witness. When I got dragged into child support when my baby was still an infant, still on milk, her mother didn't want to breastfeed her as a protest against me. Baby Smurf, go ask Mama Smurf why you wasn't breastfed. Baby Smurf, can you please ask Mama Smurf why you wasn't breastfed? Your mother refused to breastfeed you because I wanted her to. She put you on white man's milk. Oh, don't let me get started. Don't let me. I got some stories for that ass.
Hey, Dr. Umar trip, man. But yeah, man, I stand with him on that, right? If everything he's saying is true about his situation, which I don't know, but just speaking, broadly, right, for fathers, right? I share a story with you, because the child support system it is a crook. It's a crook system. It's a crooked system, right? So, a dear, very, very close friend of mine, who I consider a brother, right? He didn't find out that he had a daughter until she was 3 years old, right? The mother wanted to try to get food stamps, right? This is after he finds out that he has a 3-year-old. She wants to get on food stamps. You know, food stamps, you have to like write out like, you know, do you have the father on child support? Like, does he support the, you know, the household in any way? And what happened was that, you know, she ended up putting him on child support so she can get food stamps. I don't know if it was a play that she made it seem like that's why she did it, but that's what ended up happening, right? Now, mind you, this dude, I know I hang with this dude lock and step every day. Okay, we were inseparable. I know the character that he is because he already had kids. He already had a child, and he was there every day for that child. So I knew he wasn't lying to me. That's not who he is, right? So he gets hit with child support, and guess what? He got to pay back child support for the 3 years that he didn't even know the damn child existed. I don't mean to say damn child, but you know what I'm saying. He didn't even know it. And he's got to pay back child support for the 3 years that he didn't even know. Situations like that. You know what I'm saying? You know how long it is for a lot of people to climb out of that hole? You know? So, yeah, you know, sensitive subject for me, man. Sensitive subject. I don't have to go through something for me to feel it for my brothers. I don't have to necessarily go through it myself. Shoot. I am you, you are me. We are one. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so, Sheena, I'm quite sure you'll enjoy this. Democrats turn on Chuck Schumer. Who disagrees with Chuck Schumer's vote when it comes to the CR vote? You know, he could have said, you know, I don't support it, and we could have went through a governmental shutdown, but he ended up supporting it because he felt like the government shutdown would have been worse. Who agrees with Chuck Schumer's vote out there? Are there any Democratic voters out there? Anybody? Chuck Schumer is really going through it right now. The Democratic Party is going through it right now. And let's take a look at their numbers, right? As far as their approval ratings after this whole situation with the CR vote that Chuck Schumer gathered, I think it was 9 other votes. Let's go.
A brand new exclusive CNN poll that paints a brutal reality for Democrats. Americans' favorable views of the Democratic Party's brand are at a record low, just 29%. It is the lowest ever recorded for Democrats in CNN polling going back more than 30 years.
Why do you think Democrats are failing to connect with Americans at this critical moment of urgency, which you described?
I mean, I think Americans want the Democratic Party to stand up and fight.
If you do something creative, you're going to get criticism, right? But I actually applaud them for trying to do something different. And here's the reality. 7 million followers, whether you think it's cringe or you like it, we're on CNN on a Thursday night, and we're talking about it on national TV.
But I guess my question is, to what end? I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. I mean, maybe you will get 7 million eyeballs, but what is the point?
I am not accustomed to helping your party do anything.
Yep.
But let me give you some advice. This was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And if you read the comments today, Lord have mercy. Look, scrambling for new social media and communication strategies is not a replacement for fixing what's actually wrong. Your party has a 21% approval rating right now, congressional Democrats.
Well, let's talk about fixing what's wrong. Donald Trump is doing nothing for the American people.
He has a 50% approval rating.
But he's doing nothing for the American people.
And so
he's not lowering the cost of living.
Advice
he tells lies.
Fix the policy and leave the gimmicks behind.
Yes, and let's fix policy.
Okay.
I love it when somebody says something about the Democratic Party and they just like, you know, oh, what Donald Trump? Donald Trump. Yeah. Let me see. I agree. If he had not avoided a shutdown, then Trump and Muskrat would have made things a lot worse for the next 6 months, to a year, right? Because that's what they were talking about. They were talking about like, yo, and like I said, I'll tell you, you'd probably be shocked for me to agree with anything on the Democratic side. I agree with Chuck Schumer's vote. I agree with what he did. Because if I am to believe what is actual and factual, right, the courts cannot dictate anything during a shutdown as it pertains to the federal government, right? But right now, while the government is still open, whatever Trump is doing has to go through the courts, right? And they are winning 85% of the cases that are going through the courts as we speak right now, right? So the courts are knocking down a lot of things that Trump is trying to do. If he would allow the shutdown, it would have been all in them. They would have had no guardrails. They could have did whatever they wanted to do, right? So, and a lot of the issues of it is that how they talk about waste, right? You know, the Democrats' views of what, you know, Doge is doing and what Trump is doing as far as getting rid of waste, right? Either way, it's a lose-lose situation. Yeah, I mean, you know, kind of, sort of, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Either way, it's a lose-lose situation because they don't hold the cards, right? They got to do what they got to do. And like I said, now is not the time for them to be turning on each other. But I like that it's happening because there needs to be a change within the Democratic Party. Because say what the Democratic Party and Democratic voters say what y'all want. Everything that's happening right now is because of the Democratic Party. Listen to what I'm saying. You guys, the Democratic Party, right, tried to keep that old man in office and tried to push him on center stage. They lied and said that he was fine. And he wasn't. Last minute, you swap him out for Kamala Harris. She already had low approval rating. You didn't get a Democratic voting base, anything to be positive about, anything to be, you know, happy about, because you didn't go through the proper procedure of having a primary. You just kept the Democratic voters out of it, and you thought that they were just going to vote regardless. Anyway, it didn't matter, right? Let's just keep going. Let's just keep the hell with it. And that opened the door for that man to get back in here. That's what opened the door for that man to get back in here, because you pissed off so many Democratic voters, and you had so many Democratic voters go to the other side out of spite because they felt disrespected by the whole process. They felt disrespected that you lied to their face about Joe Biden. They didn't know who was running this country. You felt disrespected by forcing a candidate upon them and not seeing the due process of having a primary. So this is where you are, right? But let's get into the Democrats and the Democratic base, the left, how they feel about, you know, Chuck and what they had to say.
We want a Mitch McConnell. We want somebody who's going to stand up to this bully. Listen, when the bully is kicking you in the sand, in the face, what's supposed to happen is you go and you get the muscles and you come back and you punch the bully. You're not supposed to say, more sand, please.
I think they will be hugely upset and well justified. You don't stop a bully by handing over your lunch money, and you don't stop an authoritarian president by giving him more power.
It would be a capitulation to the Trump style of democracy, which is the movement of democracy to dictatorship.
The right thing to do is not for this institution behind me to give up for 6 months all of its power over to the executive.
Politically, how do you think your voters would react if you guys let this go forward?
We're not going to get anything in return no matter what.
I'm trying to figure out what leverage we actually have. What leverage do we have? They control the House, the Senate, and the presidency. It's their government. What leverage do we have?
All right, let's go to the comments. Let me see. Either way, racism as it pertains to what? Racism. What are you talking about, like as far as like Kamala? Oh, okay, yeah, because you said sexism. I don't think it was that, but I mean, hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion with that. Because it wasn't labeled sexism or racism when she ran in 2020 and lost to Joe Biden, and she had to drop out because her poll numbers were so low that she had to drop out of the race for to be the Democratic nominee for president. So it wasn't racism, sexism then. So how is it that, in 2024, like, I don't. But hey, that's how you feel. That's how you feel, right? So, but the big issue, right now, other than Trump trying to, use executive power to get rid of the Federal Department of Education, amongst other things, banning the ban or getting rid of the ban on segregation, in certain federal buildings. But let's stick to the waste, because I'm still waiting to see how all that plays out, right? But as far as the waste, because that's been the big thing up until this vote, what is you guys' definition of, or how do you feel what waste is, right? I was talking about this with my wife. Waste, for me, is simple. I send my wife to the grocery store. I send my wife to Walmart with $150, okay, for groceries. We looked each other dead in the eye. She's like, baby, we need food in the house. I said, okay, here's $150 for groceries. She goes to the grocery store with the kids. She comes back with $100 in groceries and $50 in toys for the kids. Next month, baby, we need money for groceries. Okay, cool. Here's $100. $100? You gave me $150 last month. Yeah, you came back with $50 worth of toys. I'm getting rid of that wasteful spending. Take that $100 and come back with what you came back with last month. To me, that is what I think what they're doing as far as cutting the government waste, right? But let's get into what Republicans view as what the waste is and how they feel about waste. Let's go.
Medicaid is hugely problematic because it has a lot of fraud, waste, and abuse. Everybody knows that. We all know it intuitively. No one in here would disagree. We had a hearing in budget just last week, or week before last, and they asked the experts, and the estimate is, I think it's $50 billion a year in fraud alone in Medicaid. Those are precious taxpayer dollars. Everybody is committed to preserving Medicare benefits for those who desperately need it and deserve it and qualify for it. What we're talking about is rooting out the fraud, waste, and abuse.
I'm confident that there's waste, fraud, and abuse in our government and every system that we have. And that's what we're looking to find.
Does that include
I think
Medicaid?
There's not a single... If there is waste, fraud, and abuse in any program, we need to find it.
So that includes, just to be clear, sorry, a little bit of a delay, but to be clear, if there's waste, fraud, and abuse as you've described it in Medicaid, that would be something you would be supportive of looking at?
Absolutely.
I'm not going to touch Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. Now, we're going to get fraud out of there. You know, you see where I talk about it all the time. We have people 250 years old and all, tremendous fraud. But that has nothing to do with that. We're going to get the fraud out, and everybody wants us to get the fraud out, and therefore you'll make it better.
About a third of all of the spending that's done in Medicare and Medicaid, I would imagine a lot of it's in the private sector as well.
Hold on. I thought I was supposed to have been playing Republicans. What is this? Who are these? Who are these people?
Doesn't go to really good health care, goes to other things. And the real nub of this is, how do we wring that waste out, that fraud, abuse, duplication?
Hold on. Who is that? Is that? Nah, that ain't Chuck. That ain't Chuck.
Without interfering with the good care that we want every person on Medicare, Medicaid, and private.
Oh, wait a minute. Wasteful cuts in Medicare, Medicaid. Whoa, hold on. I'm tripping. No. That ain't Chuck. No, hold on. I'm tripping. This might be AI. This might be deep fake. Y'all, hold on.
Insurance to get. The average citizen knows this happens. How many times when you look at your medical bill, you've undergone a minor procedure, and you see Dr. Smith, $4,000, and you sort of vaguely remember he just waved and poked his head in the door?
Everybody also agrees, I got from this morning, but I think we had before, that we waste a heck of a lot of money, and that somewhere around a third of all the dollars we spend on Medicare goes for nothing useful.
Hold on. Not Biden, too.
We're not cutting Medicare benefits in this. We're trying to eliminate the third of the problem that's a waste. And this is a big entitlement. We got to figure out how to keep it from bankrupting the country without denying seniors what they're entitled to.
We simply must make the cuts in waste, fraud, and abuse in Medicare. We owe it to our country.
There is an enormous amount of waste and fraud and abuse in this government. When there is waste and fraud, you have an administration who should also be on top of that situation.
If we're going to eliminate the waste, fraud, and abuse In Medicare, it does mean we're going to cut some of that out. We want to cut the bad stuff and keep the good stuff.
Now, that's what I'm saying. This is where they lose me in politics, man. This is where they lose me in politics. All I've been hearing Democrats cry about, and old Al Green swinging his cane. No cuts Medicaid. There's no mandate for Medicaid. And Hakeem Jeffries, AOC, Jasmine Crockett. I mean, the list goes on. Oh, he's cutting Medicaid. He's cutting Medicare. He's cutting it. He's cutting it. He's gonna do horrible cuts. And I'm like, wait a minute. You motherfuckers was just talking about this during Obama's presidency. Y'all was trying to do it. Like, this the problem that I have, though. Like, y'all both be saying the same thing, but then y'all say it like y'all saying something different. Like, can y'all just have, like, be more, like, you know, honest and forthcoming and transparent about, you know, what you saying here? It's crazy to me how people are so upset about Doge and Elon Musk. I don't give a damn who's opening the books. They opening the books of my enemy, the enemy of my community. Any black person sitting there is crying and being upset along with these Democrats that are crying, oh, Elon should not be looking in our books. But why, black women, black men out there, why in the hell would you give a damn? Why in the hell would you be upset of somebody going in the books and opening up the books of your enemy? Who cares? Who cares? I'm not crying about it. I'm laughing about it. And it just showed me, hearing all them Democrats cry about it, it just showed me, it's like, wait a minute. Why would you have a problem with somebody looking in your books unless it's something that you don't want them to see? Because if it was me and my books are legit, I'm like, yeah, y'all go ahead and look at it. And make sure that y'all go and report and see and let everybody know what y'all saw and how y'all look like dumbasses claiming that I was misspending my money. And when you see that I wasn't, now you go out there in Front Street and let the world know how much of a dumbass y'all really are. No, they trying to stop it. I'm trying to understand what you asked me, what am I serious about? Like, because that's just crazy to me. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. Do you know for how long this country has been doing horrible spending? Okay, the perfect example. How many times have we been talking about how much money they've been sending to Ukraine? How much money they've been sending to Ukraine? And we still got poor people living on these streets to this day. We still have poor veterans living on the streets to this day. I just did a video last week about the tent slasher, a guy who was going around in Georgia slashing homeless people tents because they don't have nowhere to stay. But yeah, we sending hundreds of billions of dollars to another country. This is the type of stuff I'm be talking about, right? But then here comes old boy, right? Zelensky saying, oh yeah, I only received half of the money that they sent. So where'd the other half go? I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. I don't care about the books of my enemy. Let me see if is this me that's doing this? Okay, yeah. I was in the military and they spent millions of money like it was nothing on all day, every day. But then sweat ain't got nothing for us. Sweat ain't got nothing for the poor. Sweat ain't got nothing for the kids. You know what I'm saying? All day, every day. I'm just not feeling it. And I really need the Democratic, well, I ain't gonna say I need. I really hope the Democratic Party comes to a point where it's like, all right, look, you know what? We got to change it all. We got to tear it down and build it back up. And build it back up. Because it tells you the state of the Democratic Party, right? For to still have to deal with Trump, and now you're dealing with Elon Musk. Like for such of the dysfunction that the Democratic Party claims that is going on the Republican side, how do you allow that dysfunction to beat your ass in the election? If somebody whoops my behind, I'm not going to call them weak. I'm not going to call them soft. I'm not going to call them little. I'm not going to say anything towards that man, because guess what? The next person going to say, yeah, but he still whooped your ass. So what does that say about you? You say whatever you want about Trump, say whatever you want about Elon, say whatever you want to say about people on the left, and guess what? What does it say about you? Because they beat your ass. They beat your ass. He didn't cheat. He cheated. He cheated. What blunt you smoking? What blunt you smoking? That man ain't had to cheat. I'm so glad my husband and I are nonpartisan. Yeah, you gotta separate yourselves. Gotta separate yourselves, man. Gotta separate yourselves. Gotta separate yourselves. Trump admitted he cheated. Okay. I got you. Trump admitted he cheated. Okay. I got you. Whatever. But like I said, all Democratic voters, if you're co-signing this is why y'all lost the election. This is why y'all pulling your hair out from the roots. Because you guys are delusional. Y'all are delusional. Y'all refuse to admit how gangster the Republican Party is and how they are literally doing what they say for their base and how the Democratic Party has not done that for over 60 years. Republicans are doing what they saying they're doing for their base. And let me tell you something. If that man gets rid of income tax for people who make less than $150,000 a year, I'll walk around with a Trump shirt. I don't care. Let me keep my buddy, man. Keep my buddy. All right, so let's move on. All right, if you guys have heard about the twin brothers who came up missing in Georgia, have you heard about that? That mysterious death? They were supposed to have been flying up north, but they were found, I would say, about 60 to 90 miles away from their home in Georgia. The law enforcement is calling it a murder-suicide. Twin brothers, and the mother and family close friends refused to believe that. And come to find out they were killed in a sundown town. I'm waiting on more information on that. But the last information that I heard about, or video that I saw, was dealing with a fireman who was on the scene of the murder, the death scene. And he took pictures, and he has been showing them around. And he got fired, and he's being brought up on charges, right? But I'm gonna wait for those. I'm gonna wait for all the information to come out because it's still like a mystery, not a mystery for me. But I want more details so I can speak to it. But I can't give you guys an instance of what a sundown town is and what happens there. Okay. If you ever heard of Rasheem Carter, he was reported missing in Taylorsville, Mississippi, 2 years ago, and nobody knew where he was. He went to a police station. He was seen on video trying to make a phone call because he was being followed by some white guys in a white pickup truck, right? We're kind of find out, he was found dead, dismembered. I mean, like they chopped him up in the woods. And we went down there before all this news broke out. We had went down there, the Elmer Geronimo Pratt Gun Club that you see at the bottom. We went down there to see about the mother and to help them, be able to peacefully protest because they wanted to march, right? This is my first time hearing or ever being in what is a sundown town. And if you don't know what a sundown town is, basically, if you black, you better have your ass in the house before the sun goes down because the white folks, the crackers, they out on a hunt and they hunt for you, right? I still don't, I just don't understand how black people live like that, but that's how they live out there. It's considered a sundown town. So we went down there to peaceful protest with my gun club, and I'm going to play you a short clip of the standoff that happened. We marched the family to the police department within their town, right? And when we came back, we were starting to see the patrol, right? The state troopers circling around us. And when we hit that corner to come back towards where we left from the walk, we seen armored vehicles with the big ass guns on the top, right? We walking down, it's flooded with law enforcement. I'm talking about, you had the FBI, you had all types out there, right? And on the other side of the street, you had the white mob, all right? And when I say the white mob, I'm talking about the white mobs that took Emmett Till out of his home, lynched him. Talking about the white mobs, right, that come out at night with the hoods over their heads, and they put the crosses in your yard. And they said something. I was leading the march. They said something to a firecracker who was in the back of the line. Walked up to her and said something to the effect of, "Yeah, we know where he is. We chopped his body up and fed him to our hogs." And shit went left after that. Here's this video, part of this clip right here.
He is. He is.
He started with me.
Y'all policing us. You ain't policing that. He walked out here. Some of these motherfuckers need to go head up.
The white mob was right behind that white lady over to the right. You can see a couple of them, okay? Now, when we were at the police station, right, we set up a perimeter so people couldn't drive through, and try to cause no issues or try to run over anybody, anything like that, right? Well, you would see one white truck. And mind you now, the white truck, we was told, white trucks in that town, probably throughout Mississippi, white trucks, guys who are in the KKK, they drive white pickup trucks on purpose. They literally buy their white pickup trucks in the color white, okay? So we would see them parked around. And towards the end, before we left, it was one white pickup truck that pulled up and got this close to General Nick, to me and General Nick. It was pulling up close. It was just trying to test to see if they could try to bump and go through. And we knew exactly who they was. And I'm telling you, if they would have ran over anybody, we would have lit that truck up. It'd have been an issue. But this was the standoff. This was the four-way intersection, okay? It's the four-way intersection. We're coming back from where that white lady is. We was walking back from behind her, and we made a right. And this is where the standoff was, because the white mob was finna get their shit twisted, and law enforcement was trying to get in between it, but they were more worried about us because we got our vests on. We got our, a bulletproof vest on. We got our AR-16, like we strapped. You know what I'm saying? They more worried about us.
Can't stand for a motherfucker to protest. They dead, son. They dead, motherfucking son. You gonna make a motherfucker hurt you?
Man, let's just relax.
No, he gotta relax, sir.
Everybody's gotta relax. Y'all here to be
that motherfucker.
Be peaceful.
Yeah, that's what we came to do. That's what we came to do. That's what we came to do. But that kind of shit right there is a fucking shit. They've been fucking Mississippi up the whole fucking history. Okay? And motherfuckers like that right there and the power that y'all have protecting them with our motherfucking tax dollars. That motherfucker, y'all won't even turn and face him.
But yet you say something to me. I'm a woman, this motherfucker telling me to bring my blood.
That's what I was talking about. Firecracker. Let me see if I can rewind it. That's what we call it. We call it firecracker. Let me see.
Face him.
But yet you say something to me. I'm a woman, this
That's who the guy walked up on and said something to, and then that's when shit went left.
motherfucker telling me to bring
You won't turn and face that motherfucker.
Y'all scared of him.
I promise you, we gonna change this shit. We gonna change this shit. We gonna change this shit.
To the right, to their left, your right, that whole area was covered in police, SWAT. They had the armored trucks. I'm talking about, I ain't never seen no shit like that before. I'm talking about where the dude got the shield in the front of it and it got the big ass, like, I don't know if it was an M16 or what, but they was posted up. They was ready for us. They was ready for us. They was ready for it. Let me see.
You motherfucker. I promise you, is that when you put your fucking hand on me?
He was ready too.
I'm fucking you up.
We do not fear your
What y'all think this is?
A different generation.
Sick of this shit.
A different generation.
I'm sick of this motherfucking shit.
What, you
gonna walk back over here, see?
Let him come back. Let him come back. Let him come back. If he fucking come back. If he fucking come back. If he fucking come back. Thank you. Thank you, sir. That's what we wanted. Thank you.
All we asking for.
Let's go. Let's go. That motherfucker come back.
Goddamn bus for this motherfucker. Oh, motherfucker. And then that jelly bean.
Hey, let's go. Let's go.
We want to talk shit to neither one.
Agitator. No racist! Police! No racist! Police! No racist! Police! No justice!
No peace!
Black lives matter! Black lives matter!
Y'all stand behind. Don't pay no fucking tax dollar for this shit. Don't pay no tax dollar for this shit. Pay no fucking tax dollar for this shit.
Let's go! All right, let's go! Let's go!
Yeah, that's how I go. That's how I go. That was my first experience in the sundown town. That was my first experience dealing with a white mob like that. I've heard about them, read about them, saw movies about them, or dealing with them. That was my first time face-to-face with them. Reality check, baby. Reality check for that ass, man. I'm telling you, is people still living in Rosewood areas. You know that movie called Rosewood? It's still black folks living in them situations where they can't even walk alone at night without getting picked up by white folks in a white pickup truck and coming up missing and being found, chopped up, castrated. It's crazy. It's crazy. But, you know, outside of that, man, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Let me see if I can come up with another game next week. Excuse me. But until then, man, you guys enjoy your weekend. Many thoughts and blessings sent your way. All right? Peace.
Do you think that with this kind of thoughts you have, you're being watched?
Absolutely. I know for a fact I am. I know for an absolute fact that I'm being watched.
Is this a thin red line between I fight for the rights of the black people of America and I'm a terrorist?
Yeah. I mean, to white America, I've already crossed the line.
So you are a terrorist for them?
For them, I am. For them, I am. I believe in black people. I believe that we have the right to live just like everybody else. And I'm not going to back down from it. You know, could it cost me my life? I believe so. Will it cost me my life? I'm not sure. But I know what the consequences are for me speaking out. I know what the consequences are for me training black people to defend themselves, to fight. People are tired. People want to push back. They just want to be left alone.